What's up, YouTube? So in this video, I'm just gonna be kind of going over some of my thoughts on the Hall of Fame game last night. I was planning on doing some film sessions. I was gonna do a Micah Parsons film session and a Najee Harris one because I wanted to do one for both teams, but I had to use the broadcast view and they both got blocked, so I can't do that. So I'm just gonna do this. Just give my overall thoughts on it. I'll talk about Dallas first, then I'll get to Pittsburgh because the score doesn't really matter. 3-16, but in preseason, who wins really doesn't matter. But Garrett Gilbert looked like he should probably be the backup quarterback for Dallas moving forward. Cooper Rush looked okay. Ben DiNucci is terrible, dude. He probably has the strongest arm of the three, but dude, his mechanics, his decision making, it's all terrible. Just having a strong arm does not mean you should remain on an NFL roster. It just doesn't. Man, he looks like he has some athleticism too, but dude, he is terrible. If he remains on this roster after preseason, he must have like something on Mike McCarthy, some kind of blackmail. As far as their rushing goes, Tony Pollard played a little bit yesterday. Nothing too crazy, but Rico Dowell actually looked pretty decent. He had some pretty hard runs. He really looked pretty solid. Brandon Knox looked okay, but he didn't get that many carries. Really, it was Rico Dowell that really stood out to me as far as our running backs go. As far as the receivers, Malik Turner got some decent playing time there, but Aaron Parker really showed out. Apparently, in practice, Aaron Parker is starting to be someone that Dak is starting to feel really comfortable with, so that bodes well for him remaining on the roster. If your starting quarterback has a good connection with him, it doesn't even really matter if he's more talented than the rest on the list. If your starter likes him, you should probably keep him. Just saying. Let's see. On defense, like I said, Micah Parsons did play a little bit. He didn't play that crazy much, which is why I'm not that upset about the film sessions getting blocked. It is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Micah Parsons did look okay yesterday. He was flying around the ball for sure, which is exactly what you expect from him. Him being a just really fast linebacker, just going sideline to sideline. That's something that he's always been good about. But Pittsburgh did do some misdirections, and he did get a little bit lost sometimes, which is exactly what my point was coming out. I do like Micah Parsons. There's some people that think I don't just because he wasn't my number one linebacker. But, no, I do like him. It's just he needs to fix the misdirection problems. Quentin Bohanna did okay. It looks like he got a little bit roughed up at the end. Hopefully he's okay. Nashawn Wright, their rookie corner, he had some mixed results. He looked good at times, but he also got really cooked at times. Chase Claypool really that deep pass that Chase Claypool got and got a little bit banged up on, that was on Nashawn Wright. So Maurice Canady is looking pretty good as a DB. Keanu O'Neal, I don't think he's that good anymore, to be honest with you. I wanted to see Kelvin Joseph play a little bit more. Kelvin Joseph was my cornerback, either 1 or 2. Can't remember right now. I'd have to look. It was between him and J.C. Horn. They were my number 1 and 2 corners. But he hasn't gotten an opportunity to play as much. Nashawn Wright got a lot more snaps last night, which kind of annoyed me a little bit. One thing that was interesting is that Dallas's punter and Ben DiNucci were both wearing number 7 last night. So that kind of raises the question of what Ben DiNucci's true future on the team is. Definitely raises some questions. But I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about with Dallas. There were some other people that played, Osa Odigizua, and some others that I really like, but they didn't really get enough snaps for me to really be able to judge them. So I have rewatched the game already, by the way. I woke up this morning and rewatched it, and because I recorded it as well. So, Dwayne Haskins going on to Pittsburgh now. Dwayne Haskins, he looked okay. He definitely looked like he had the strongest arm of the three between him, Mason Rudolph, and Josh Dobbs. He didn't really. He played most of the second and third quarter. He didn't look amazing. There was definitely some drops for him as well. But that just is what that is. Josh Dobbs actually kind of ended up looking the best. Mason Rudolph is terrible, dude. He had some really inaccurate passes that should have been easy completions for him, but he just missed. And even when he didn't miss, the ball placement just wasn't there. There's a difference between, hitting your receiver and actually leading him into the correct area. Just throwing a catchable ball isn't being accurate. But, Najee Harris looked okay last night. He only got about 7 carries. The offensive line looked pretty questionable. He really wasn't getting much space to run, which didn't help their quarterbacks either. Pittsburgh's offensive line is a massive question mark. Most of their guys are new. So that is what that is. Kalen Ballage played a little bit yesterday. They mostly used him on goal line situations and short yardage situations, and he looked okay there. Chase Claypool, like I said, he had a couple catches, but he also had the one really good diving deep catch. That was really good. Anthony Johnson looked okay last night. He got a few catches. Deontay Johnson had some drops. So did James Washington. That was a big problem for Pittsburgh last year, was the amount of drops that their receivers had. Ben's arm was a question mark at the end of the year because I think his elbow was starting to bother him again. But the receivers dropping the amount of passes they were did not help. Miles Kilbrew had a good amount of tackles. James Pierre actually looks pretty good. He's one of Pittsburgh's DBs. Justin Lane looked okay. Robert Spillane, who really stepped up when Devin Bush went down last year, he looked pretty good. Cassius Marsh looked good. Alex Highsmith was kicking the shit out of that left tackle the whole game. He only got 1 sack, but the entire time he was there, he was destroying whoever was there at left tackle. They put a couple different people up there. They put Brandon Knight and somebody else there, but Alex Highsmith was whooping their ass. Isaiah Loudermilk, I don't remember noticing him last night or this morning. He looked okay, I think, but I wasn't specifically watching for him. With preseason, I kind of just watch the games and then see what comes to me, unless I'm watching a specific player. Marcus Allen looked fine. Shakur Brown, I would have liked him to get a little bit more playing time than he did. I liked him a lot as a slot corner. Quincy Roche, who I'm not massive on, again, I wish he would have gotten a little bit more snaps, but he did get a sack last night, which is nice. But I do want to see more from him moving forward. I think that he can be like a relief guy, because Pittsburgh's got Alex Highsmith and Melvin Ingram on the side opposite of T.J. Watt, so Quincy Roche might be able to be that fourth guy. Abdullah Anderson, sure, he got a sack last night too. Buddy Johnson really didn't get much of a chance to play much. Neither did Calvin Bundage. yeah, a lot of those guys just didn't really get that many opportunities to really play. Matthew Sexton, he's a receiver for Pittsburgh. He returned a punt. He looks pretty quick, that's for sure. And Presley Harvin, the punter, that dude's got a leg, man. He's got a really powerful leg. I mean, he's 255 and a punter, so you would expect him to. But it's also really accurate. Like, the way he dropped it literally within a yard was crazy last night. So shout out to him. Also, the Steelers and Cowboys could not kick to save their lives last night. Now, this is something we do see in preseason, though. Teams really needing to get their kickers going. But, man. Also with Dallas, I forgot to mention, Jabril Cox also looked pretty good last night as well. Just wanted to bring that up as well. But Reggie Davis also for Dallas. He's a receiver for them. He looks very inconsistent. His ability to focus in a pass is something that I think could really use some work, just based on what I've seen from him. He looks like he's trying to run before he catches the football, which if you're a Steelers fan watching this, you should probably be pretty familiar with that, because that was a big problem for a lot of your receivers last year, whether it be James Washington, Deontay Johnson. There was a bunch of them that had that issue. In Miami, because I'm a Dolphins YouTuber primarily, Jakeem Grant is also really, really known for doing that. So hopefully he can work that out. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.